Hey guys, welcome to another Fatty Miniatures Battle Report. John here, you got Brad here as well. We're playing a 1500-ish point battle report.
Within 5 or 10.
Yeah,
we're close enough.
I think I'm at 511, he's at 505, or 1505, 1511. You know, we gave ourselves a general point value to hit, and if we're over it a little bit, we said, who cares?
Exactly.
So we have another Custodes versus Tyranids battle report for you. We're going to be playing the Relic. It's going to be definitely an interesting game, as there's only one objective.
It's true.
So we'll go over the armies, and we'll show you the deployment, and we'll go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so here is my 1511 points of Tyranids. We'll start over here. I have a combined arms attachment with the Flying Hive Tyrant with Twin Link Devourers and Electroshock Grubs. We have 2 units of 7 Gene Stealers, and then we have a Trigon Prime. And then over here we have a Skyblight Swarm. We have a Flying Hive Tyrant with Twin Link Devourers and Electroshock Grubs, exactly the same as the other one. And then we have a Hive Crone and then 2 Harpies. They both have Stranglethorn cannons. I didn't have enough points to throw the Venom cannons on there. And then we have 3 units of 10 Gargoyles each. Now my Warlord is this dark colored one. You'll notice that his wings are darker compared to this one. And he has Catalyst, Dominion, and Paroxysm, while the other one has Onslaught, Catalyst, and Dominion. So a little bit easy there to remember which one has which psychic power. And we'll go on to Brad's army and then the deployment. Here's Brad's 1505 points of Custodes and Tiger Claws.
5-man Custodes with the shields and the swords, and the one guy has the banner that gives them the +1 attack. Venerable Land Raider, Captain and Cataphractii with the Chain Fist and the Combi Melta. He'll be attached to the other Custodes squad that has the AP2
the spears.
And then Venerable Dreadnought, or Contemptor Dreadnought with the Gatling gun. I can't even remember what it's called right now. And then a 10-man squad of tacticals with the rocket launcher, a las gun, or a plasma gun, sorry, and Sergeant has a power sword and a plasma pistol.
And they are going to be in that Rhino.
They will be in the Rhino, absolutely.
Cool. And that is your 1505.
1505.
So here is the deployment. We have Brad's Land Raider there with the 5 Custodes with the swords. Then we have the Tiger Claw Rhino right there, and the Venerable Contemptor Dreadnought. Now Brad did leave that unit right there with the Cataphractii Captain and the 5 Custodes in reserve. And here is my counter deployment. We have all of the big giant flyers in the back there with a line of gargoyles to protect them. Those Gene Stealers did infiltrate. You have the 2 Hive Tyrants just kind of sitting in the middle there, providing some synapse. And then the Trigon Prime and the last 7 Gene Stealers are going to be in reserve. So we will go on to turn 1. And now there is the Relic right there. Super cool looking guy. And I'm going to go ahead and try to seize the initiative because I really want to go first. So on a 6. And that is the exact opposite. So we will go on to Brad's turn 1. Alright, so movement phase for Brad on turn 1. We have the Rhino moving up 6, and it looks like they're going to pile...
Pivot.
Oh, and pivot.
That way I can pile out in front of it. Okay. And this is gonna move up 6. These guys are going to come out 6. Which, look at that. Grabbing the relic.
Alright, so that one relic, or that one guy with his sword down is the one that's going to be holding the relic.
Yup, and then are they within 12 of? Yeah, at least the front 2 are. We'll measure that in a minute, but I'm gonna go ahead and run these guys.
Okay, so you're going straight to the shooting phase?
I have no other movement.
Alright.
So, yeah.
So 1 dice?
Oh yeah, huh. Ignore me. Of course. Never mind. That's what I get for rolling 2 dice instead of 1. So that kind of ruined my plan, which was to have these fools bubble wrap the Custodes for a turn, but the Custodes are going to go ahead and go ahead with that tape measure. I'll see how many of them are within 12 so they can take their shots with their cool sword guns.
Sure, so we're going to measure and come right back to you.
Alright guys, so we're going to start with our 6 shots from the front 3 at those guys. Not bad.
So, looks like 5 hits. And strength 4, so wounding on force.
So 3 wounds.
3 4-up covers. And
Woo.
3 deaths.
3 dead. I like it. Alright, we'll go ahead and take the last 2 shots from
From the bolter.
the bolter on the rhino.
So 1 hit. Nothing.
Okay. Then the heavy bolter will take his shots at the gargoyles.
Okay, using power of the machine spirit.
Yup.
And nothing.
Twin linked though.
So 3 hits.
Hits.
And
3 wounds?
strength 4, yeah, 3 wounds.
Okay.
You said the gargoyles?
Yeah.
5-up cover through your Custodes.
Sure.
So 3 5-up covers. And I saved 2.
2 of them, nice.
So closest is this guy.
Alright, and then the last shots are the 2 twin linked las cannons at the big ugly gargoyle.
At this one here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Twin linked. There
So
we go,
2 hits. And strength 8 against, so one does nothing. And 1,
4.
and so he takes a wound.
Okay. And
Now
then
I'm not going to jink because I need to shoot him. So
I did forget one other thing, but I gotta check the range on it. His gun.
alright. So we'll check the range on that super crazy assault cannon. We'll get right back to you. So the Curious Pattern assault cannon is 24-inch range. So Brad is out of range with the Venerable Contemptor. So turn 1 recap. Killed 1 gargoyle and 3 gene stealers, and picked up the relic and piled everybody out. So we'll go on to Tyranid turn 1. And there's a lot of stuff over here to move, so we'll come back to you after the movement phase for the Tyranids. Alright guys, so Tyranid movement phase is done. We have this Hive Crone that moved up. It is now flying. Those gargoyles went 12, as did the ones back there and those ones over there. That harpy is still on the ground. However, that one jumped up into the air. That flying Hive Tyrant is now flying, as is the other Hive Tyrant. And those Gene Stealers just moving 4 inches through the difficult terrain. As we go into the Psychic phase, Tyranids get 4 warp charges plus 2, so for a total of 6, and Brad gets 2. So we will go straight into the Psychic phase. Alright, so the Warlord is going to cast Catalyst on himself And that harpy right there, it is warp charge 1. So I'm going to go ahead and throw 2 dice at it. And it does not go off. So then the other Hive Tyrant is going to throw Catalyst at itself and that harpy. I really want it to go off, so I'm actually going to throw 3 dice at it. And I get it with 2. Brad needing 2 6s to deny. And he gets a 5 and a 6. So it does go off. And then I'm going to go ahead and cast Paroxysm. It is only warp charge 1. I'm going to cast Paroxysm from the Warlord onto those Custodes. Just needing a 4 for them to have a minus their weapon skill, ballistic skill, all that fun shenanigans. And it goes off. D3 for both characteristics. And 3. So they are minus 3 weapon skill and ballistic skill until the end of next turn. Or until my next psychic phase. So we will go on to the shooting phase and we'll come back to you. Shooting phase is going to start with this Hive Crone. He's going to shoot 2 Tentaclid missiles into the Land Raider, hitting on 4s. And 1 hit, so it is a haywire, so 2 to glance, 6 to pen. And that is going to be a glance, so it is down to 3 hull points.
5 up invuln for the Emperor's demon save.
And he makes it.
Sir.
Alright. So we'll pull these 2 off, leaving him with 2.
That is super cool.
Alright, so 12 shots from those gargoyles at the Custodes. Hitting on 4s. And looks like 1 miss.
Alrighty then.
And toughness 5. So wounding on 5s. Looks like 2 wounds. We got a 6 and a 5.
Okay.
So 2 up saves. And 1 takes a wound.
Takes a wound. I guess it's the guy with the relic because he's out in front.
Alright. So then we'll do 12 shots from the flying Hive Tyrant there. At the Custodes as well. Since that's all that he can really hurt. He can't hurt the Land Raider. Only strength 6. Hitting on 3s, twin linked. So 2 misses, so 10 hits. And strength 6, so wounded on 3s. So we got 3, 6, and 7 wounds. So 7 2-ups. And we got 2 fails.
Yes, sir. Alright, so that kills him and shoves the wound over to him.
Alright, so that does mean that he does drop the relic. So the relic is now in the open again.
This is true.
So those gargoyles right there are now going to shoot at the Tiger Claws. So
Okay.
12 shots, hitting on 4s.
Okay.
And 3 misses. And wounding on 4s. Alright, so
5.
2, 4, and 5, 3-up saves. So it looks like 2.
Which unfortunately takes out my rocket launcher.
Alright, there you go. And then we'll do the Stranglethorn Cannon from that Harpy. We're going to do it at the Custodes. It is just a small blast, I believe. I'm going to double check on the stats on that one. I very rarely use the Stranglethorn Cannon. As you notice, he is modeled with a Venom Cannon because that's usually what I run. So, cannon from that Harpy. He's going to shoot at the Custodes. I'm going to center it right over this guy. So direct hit will get him. It looks like one other Custode and a couple of Tiger Claws. And we'll roll for the scatter. And it's gonna go that way 6 inches. So we'll measure right there. So we're gonna come over here and do Stranglethorn Cannon from this Harpy. We're gonna center it over this guy's head right there in the middle. So a direct hit, looks like it'll get all of them. And possibly looks like the one Custode. And that is gonna go 3 inches to right there. And that'll get
4, 5.
Yeah, it looks like it'll get 1, 2. Looks like it'll get these, all of these. Oop, so it misses the 1. Yeah.
Yeah.
So these 5 right here. And it is strength 6. So wounding on 2s. And so 4 wounds. It's only AP 5, so you do get your 3 up saves. And 3 go down. So
It's firing from him.
yeah, from him.
Okay, so 3 go down.
And then a pinning test. And they are pinned.
It is pinned.
Alright, so then these wonderful, wonderful Gene Stealers are going to run 6 inches. And I'll come right back with where their run move put them. It was 4 inches straight down and 2 inches out. And then the last little bit of shooting is going to be that flying Hive Tyrant there, the Warlord, is going to shoot at the Custodes. Might as well get the big heavy hitter off the table if possible. So hitting on 3s, twin linked. And it is a good thing. That is a lot of misses.
That was a lot of misses.
Alright, well, 4 hits. Oh. No, a little better. So it turned into 9 hits. And strength 6 against toughness 5, so 3s to wound. So 1, 2, 3. I probably should have shot at those Tiger Claws, wiped them out, but 3 2-up saves, sir. Alright, and 1 wound, so the banner guy takes a wound. Alright, and at the end of the assault, or the shooting phase, the Tiger Claws are going to have to take a leadership test to see if they stay on the board, as they've lost half of their squad. Leadership 9, I believe. You have a veteran sergeant in there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so leadership 9. And that is a 10. So they run 2d6. And that's going to be 7 inches.
Okay.
And we'll come back after we move them.
Do that first.
Alright, so that right there is where those Tiger Claws ended up. And those gargoyles in the back that didn't shoot at anybody are going to run 6 inches. So I'll move them, and those gargoyles ended up right over there, just kind of huddled around that Harpy. So we'll go straight to the assault phase. And this 12-man gargoyle unit is going to go ahead and charge at the Tiger Claws. Needing a 5-inch charge. And getting a 7.
Alright, Overwatch.
Okay.
So I got 3 normal dudes, plasma gun, and a plasma pistol.
So the 3 normal
3
dudes.
normal dudes.
Hitting on 6s. Looks like 2 hits.
2 hits.
Wounding on 3s.
1 wound.
Alright, so the front guy goes.
Okay. Plasma gun and plasma pistol. Nothing.
It does get hot. That was a 1.
That is
It's fine. Alright. And so 7 is still gonna be in. So we'll move them in and come back to. All right, so there's that charge there. So then we're gonna come over here to the Harpy, and the Harpy's gonna charge next. Needing a 10-inch charge is what Brad and I talked about. And that is exactly a 10.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead and do your Overwatch.
All right. That's 3 guys with 2 shots each. Oops. 5-man 6s.
Yep.
Because it's got that cool special rule we figured out. And so it looks like 2 still.
All right.
Kinda loud.
And needing 5s. 5s to wound. So 1 wound. And 4 up save. And nothing. All right. So he's down to 4 wounds, but he does get in. Just barely, so I'll move him in. That charge. Now, last charge of the turn, those gargoyles are going to go ahead and charge in to the Custodes as well. They're already tied up in combat, so no Overwatch. And with an 8-inch charge, they are definitely in. So we'll move in. And then we're going to start with this combat here. There's the pile-in at initiative 4, so everybody is within range to fight. Brad gets 7 attacks total, hitting on 3s. And then he's going to be wounding on 3s as well. And
5 wounds.
5 wounds. So 5, 6 ups. And it looks like all 5 die. But at the same time, they do get to attack back. And getting all these little dice. So 12 of them there, so we got 24 attacks hitting on 4s. Alright. I wish I was hitting on 3s. Alright, and then I think I'll have to check, but I'm either wounded on 4s or 5s. So,
Yeah, 2 4s.
2 4s. So I'm wounded on at least 5s. So possibly 4s. So we'll double check and we'll come right back with his saves. Those are strength 3, so they are wounded on 5s. So 3 saves and 1 dies. So you win combat, but I'm fearless because I'm within 12 inches of that right there.
Huh?
All right, so.
Oh.
All right, guys. So I usually run gargoyles in squads of 12, and I forgot I'm only running them in squads of 10. So I had 4 extra attacks. So we're gonna roll a dice to see if that guy is actually still alive, and he's still alive. So we decided on a 4+ that the gargoyle that made that attack was not really there. So we will go on to this attack, or this combat here. Now the Custodes are -5 initiative because of the Harpy charging in with his Sonic Screech ability. And they're also -3 weapon skill and ballistic skill. So they're initiative 1, weapon skill 2. So I have, I think, 18 attacks from the gargoyles. And they are going to be hitting on 3s.
You have an actual 18?
Yeah, I only have 9 over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just double check it.
Yep. Hitting on 3s. Wow, that's a much better roll this time around.
Oh, yeah.
And now they are still toughness 5, so I am wounding on 6s with the gargoyles.
Okay.
And looks like 2 wounds. So 2 up saves. And 1 wound goes through.
Okay. Automatically goes to the guy who's already got a wound, right?
We can double check that real quick.
I'm pretty sure.
Alright guys, so we decided to go ahead and remove that 1 model with the wound anyways. It just made more sense. I did forget to do Hammer of Wrath. It hasn't made any impact yet, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Strength 5 against your Toughness 5, so needing a 4 to wound, but you still get your 2 up save. So that is going to be a wound with a 2 up save. And he's fine. And then 4 attacks, hitting on 3s. So 1 miss. And strength 5 against your toughness 5, so wounding on 4s. Now these are AP 2, so you will get 3 up saves. And 2 wounds. So 2 3-ups. And
that is 1
that
wound.
goes through. And the closest model in base contact is that guy.
The banner.
So then you got 2 guys left with
4 attacks and 3 attacks because I no longer have the banner. 4
Okay.
for the captain, 3 for the...
Okay. And they're going to be hitting on 4s. So that's a miss.
That's a miss, so...
Alright, and then because the gargoyles are the only thing in base contact, they are going to be killing on 2s. And you get 2 1s, that's rough. So 2 guys go. 1 and 2. But I did 2 wounds and you did 2 wounds, so tied combat. So we will go ahead and pile in and go from there. Here's the pile-ins for both combats. And now Brad is going to roll for this squad right here to come in on a 3+. They're in. So he is going big. Hopefully he doesn't go home. And here's the scattered eye if you want to throw it right there.
Bullseye. Bullseye.
All right.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's a good thing because he would have ended up scattering 7 inches. All right.
Well,
and you didn't move the relic at all when you land. Okay, so you're just outside of base contact there. So you can definitely get some area control and prevent me from getting into base contact though.
Yup.
So we'll come back to you with the rest. Well, I guess there's not a whole lot to do movement wise, so
a little bit of movement with
we'll do the movement. Alright guys, Brad got super excited about moving.
Well, I had to figure out if I could even do that because I would have had to reset it if I couldn't.
And moved those 2 tanks. He is going to roll for terrain for this walker. And the walker's moving 5 inches. Which puts him
right up basically to the edge here.
Yep.
And sure. Good.
Okay. And then now we're going to go straight to the shooting phase because there's no psychic phase. Where did you want to start shooting?
We may as well take the 2 shots at the Gene Stealers because that's super easy.
Shoot 2 shots from the Storm Bolter on top and missing with both of them.
Alrighty.
And then
the las cannons can actually rotate all the way around.
Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and take, I'm not going to spin it on that one, but we're going to take the 2 twin-linked las cannons and...
I don't know, the Storm Bolter's going to have...
It's stuck. It can turn all the way around. Boom.
Okay. So hitting on 6s.
Hitting all 6s. Twin linked.
So 1 hit.
1 hit. Come on, Big Daddy. Boom, 6. So that's the last cannon.
Yep, so that'll be a wound.
And then 3 shots with the other, because I may as well. They are twin linked as well. Still nothing.
And nothing.
And then the 2 shots from that thing, which I doubt's going to do anything, but
it's not twin linked. Alright.
Alright, 1 wound from the last cannon.
Okay. Is that all the shooting you're going to do with that?
No, I'm going to go ahead and fire the Carries pattern, the 6 shots, strength 6, AP 4.
Okay.
From the Contemptor as well.
Hitting on 6s. Oh, that's a lot of 6s.
That is 2 6s. And then also the Storm Bolter in his hand. He may as well take the shots. Nothing.
Okay.
So.
And wounded on 3s.
Nothing.
So nothing there.
Dang.
Alright.
Alright, so let's see if that one lucky 6 on the last cannon does anything.
Nope. So he takes a wound, but he's still in the air.
Okay. And these guys may as well take all their shots into I think I need to clear out those other gargoyles. I want to shoot the Gene Stealers. Actually, the Gene Stealers are probably better in close combat, so I'm going to go ahead and try to shoot them off the table.
Okay.
So I got 5 dudes with the...
they only have single shots, right?
They are bolt guns, so they are within rapid fire.
Okay.
And I'm not able to charge, so I may as well fire rapid fire, right? And then he's got the combi, so he'll get his 1 shot. Or does the combi count as rapid fire as well?
He can either do a bolt gun or he can shoot the Melta.
Yeah. He's not going to shoot the Melta.
So then he gets 2 shots.
2 shots, okay. So
I might as well roll them all together.
All at once. Yep, here, we'll roll it over here for you.
Okay.
So obviously not 1s and 2s.
Alright. And 4s to wound.
So 5 wounds.
Alright, so that I think is going to be the squad. It is AP 5 and they only have 5 up safe.
Nice.
So
alright, so that was the plan.
Alright, so that is going to be all of your shooting.
Yeah.
So we'll go on to, let's start with that little tiny combat over there.
This one over here?
Yep.
Perfect.
So initiative 4, we both get 5 attacks.
1, 2,
Or you get
I have 4 dudes.
4 dudes plus the
plus
3.
From the,
so you get 7.
7.
And
wow.
3 hits.
That was crud.
And wounding on 3s.
3 wounds.
Okay, 3 6-ups. So 3 die.
Okay.
But at the same time,
Yep.
they get to swing back. So 3 hits.
Okay.
And wounding on 4s or 5s, so 2 wounds. And 1 dies. So I look like I'm still within 12. Do you want to measure that real quick?
Of this guy?
No, of the high tyrant up there.
Yeah. I don't know about that.
It looks like just
out.
Just out?
Yep.
Okay. Alright, so... And he is falling back, so initiative 4 against your initiative 4. So go ahead and roll a dice and we'll see if I get away. So I need a 6 to get away. And I don't, so go ahead and just pull them. And then you consolidate. 2 inches.
Woo! 2 whole inches.
Is their consolidation. Now we're going to move over here. So Brad is going to do his 7 attacks.
On the big guy.
On the big guy, hitting on 4s.
Wow.
And it looks like 2 hits.
Wow, that is some jank.
and
Wow.
no wounds.
Alright.
Strength 5 against my toughness 5, so needing 4s there. So at initiative step 5, the Harpy also goes, hitting on 3s. And that's going to be 2 hits. Strength 5 against toughness 5, so wounding on 4s. And no wounds there. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, 7 guys. So 7 attacks from the other guys. So hitting on 3s. And wounding on 6s. Strength 3 against toughness 5. So no wounds. Alright, so we have tied combat.
Tied combat.
So that is going to be the end of Brad's turn. So we'll go on to Tyranids' turn 2. We'll roll for those reserves over there. First the Trigon Prime. Not in. And the the Gene Stealers coming in. Alright. So I'm going to go ahead and outflank the Gene Stealers. So we'll do 1, 2, and then 3, 4 is this side, and then 5, 6 I'll choose. And they'll come in from this table edge over here where the camera is standing.
Perfect.
And we'll come back to you with the movement. So the movement is done for Tyranids on turn 2. The Gene Stealers have come back here to claim Line Breaker if they survive, or who knows what'll happen. This Harpy has flown over that unit right there and is going to drop a Spore Mine Cyst in the movement phase. So it is a large blast and it is a bomb, so it only scatters 1d6. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll center it right over this guy right there. On the captain's head. And it's a direct hit. So strength 4, I believe. So it's gonna get all 4 of them and wound all 4 on 4s. So 2 wounds. And you get your 3-up saves.
Yep. Save 1.
Alright. Alright. So then they'll need to take a morale test in the...
Okay. Are you doing any other shooting?
Well, that's in the movement phase.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. And they're good. Alright, with a 5.
Yep.
Alright, so we'll go on to show you the rest of the movement. That Hive Crone moved up 12, as did the Flying Hive Tyrant over there. That Hive Tyrant moved up to give itself a, dominion or synapse range on everything on the board. And the Trigon Prime is still in reserve, waiting to see what happens. I do need to roll because I totally forgot for the unit that you killed to see if they come back on, because it is part of the Skyblight Swarm. So on a 4-up, that unit goes into ongoing reserve and should have come back on this turn. So they're gonna have to come on from that board edge there. So we'll show you where they end up. Where the Gargoyles ended up, they did use their jump packs, and 2 of them died to that wonderful dangerous terrain right there. So now we're gonna go straight to the psychic phase. So 4 dice plus 2, so 6 dice total yet again. And I think I'm gonna start with Catalyst from this Hive Tyrant onto itself and the Hive, or the Harpy that is in close combat. It's only Warp Charge 1, giving them both Feel No Pain. And I get it with 2. Did you wish to deny, Brad?
Which one?
Giving that Hive Tyrant and the Harpy Feel No Pain. You get 2 dice to deny. You need 2 6s for that.
No, I'm going to ignore that.
Okay.
I'm going to try to stop your paroxysm.
Okay, then I will go ahead and cast Paroxysm on that unit hiding in that close combat. It is only warp charge 1. I'm going to go ahead and throw... I'm going to throw all 4 dice at it. Might as well. I really want that to go off. And I get it with 3. So you can't deny it.
Can't deny.
So...
Oh look, 5 6s. No, just kidding.
Alright, so we will go on to the shooting phase. And we're going to start with that harpy right there. This is going to shoot the Stranglethorn cannon at this unit of tactical marines. And we'll center the blast right there over this guy's head. And that'll be a direct hit, so it gets all 3 and the tank.
Okay.
So 3 hits on the Marines. It is strength 6. So 3 wounds. You do get your 3 up save though.
Yep.
And
6
saves them all.
Saves
Do you want to take a pinning test now? And they're pinned. And then strength 6 against the rear armor of the Rhino. And that does nothing. Alright. So then we will do that flying hive tyrant and I'll come right back. Alright guys, so before we forget, I do have to roll a D3 to see what the weapon skill and ballista skill of that squad is reduced by. And on a 6 it is reduced by 3 again. So okay. Still weapon skill 2, so I'm still hitting on 3s, he's still hitting on 4s in that combat. Made a difference last time because you definitely could have killed me.
Yeah.
So now we'll go to the rest of the shooting before we forget. I'm going to start right here with the Hive Crone, shooting the last 2 Tentaclid missiles at the Land Raider. Hitting on 4s, so 2 hits, and then glancing on 2s, and 6s are penetrating hits. And that is going to be 2 glances. Do you want to take your 2 5-up invulns?
Yeah.
Let me just throw them right there. Takes 2 glances, so down to 2 hull points. So then, in that case, that answers that question. So the Hive Tyrant will use the electroshock grubs on the Land Raider. So we already measured it. He does get to hit him. He's definitely within range of that flamer template. So 2 to glance, 6 to pen. And that is going to be a penetrating hit.
5 up. Nope.
And nope. And penetrating hit result is a 1, so it is definitely snap firing down to 1 hull point. The other 6 shots from that Hive Tyrant can't hurt it. It's only strength 6 against the rear armor of 14. So we'll go on to that squad there. I did measure. Only 2 of them are in range of the Custodes over there. So 2 shots. And they both miss on a 1. And then we'll go on to that squad over there. So 10 shots. And I just happen to have 10 dice right there. So hitting on 4s. Alright, 3 hits. And 1 wound because they are toughness 5. And they do take a wound. Alright. I'm not going to complain. 1 shot, or 1 hit, 1 wound. So, then we'll go over there to that Hive Tyrant. That's all that's left. And I think...
Is that your plan?
Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. So the electroshock grubs gets all 3 of the Marines, so strength 5. So that's going to be 2 wounds, AP 5, so you get your 3 up.
Good.
And they're good. And then it will glance on a 2 and penetrate on a 6. Because it does hit the Rhino. And of course I get a 1. So then 6 shots at the Marines. Because that was the primary target. Hitting on 3s, twin linked. And wounding on 2s. So 4 wounds. And 2 die.
Look out, sir, on the second one.
And he does not make it.
Anyway.
So that is going to be the shooting phase. Do you want to do a leadership? And they're good with a 4.
He is good.
All right.
He's banging on the door of the Rhino. Let me in.
Right. So we'll go on to the assault phase. All right, guys. So that unit of gargoyles is in fact going to charge into the unit of Custodes with the Cataphractii Terminator Captain. Their charge range is going to be 3 inches. Oh. All right. Well, luckily there's a couple of them that are definitely within 3. Brad's gonna do his Overwatch.
Yes,
Throw it right there.
Yep.
And it's like 2.
2.
And 2 die. But that does mean that I am still within 3 inches. So those 2 die, and then the one over there on the far side is still within 3. So I'll move them in, and we might as well start with that combat there.
Sure.
Alright, so it looks like 4 hammer of wrath, strength 3.
5.
Oh, 5?
Yeah, you can get.
Okay. So two wounds there.
Okay.
On 6s, so. And.
That kills the one that had a wound.
Alright, well. Then Brad gets to go next. And so he'll have to pile in.
I can't really do much for the pile in, but we got this. Dang fiddly bits.
And then he'll get his attacks next.
Alright, so.
Alright, so at initiative 5.
Yep.
They're all the same stat line, so.
Except for the captain, because the captain's strength times 2.
Oh, but he's going to initiative 1.
Yes.
So
all the rest of them.
Hitting on 3s.
That is kind of crud.
Well, that's what I'm looking for. And
AP2.
killing on 2s. So 5 dead.
That's fine.
So if you want to pull 5,
Sure.
might as well pull them from the back.
1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
So that leaves 3.
3.
Alright, so those 3 are going to swing back with their 6 attacks. Not really a whole lot. Hitting on 4s. 2 hits.
Okay.
Sorry guys, zoomed in too far. 2 hits and wounding on 6s. And no wounds. Alright.
So 3 from the Power Fist.
And 1 misses. Alright.
And Dose dead.
So 2 dead.
So that leaves you with
That
one
leaves
guy.
me with 1 guy. And yeah, pull those 2 over there. Perfect. So that last guy is within 12 inches of the Hive Tyrant over there. So he is still fearless. So then we'll go on to the big giant combat in the middle there.
Consolidate into the combat here.
And at initiative 5, your 2 Custodes go, and so does my Harpy.
Okay.
So you get 7 attacks.
Yep.
Hitting on 4s. 3.
I count 4.
Oh, 4. Sorry.
It's alright.
I saw the 4 dice. And 1 wound.
Is it?
Strength 5 against toughness 5.
Yep. Strength 5.
So that 4 is the only wound. Now it is AP 3, so it does go right through his 4-up armor.
This is true.
But he gets 3 attacks back. Hitting on 3s. So 3 hits.
Okay.
And strength 5 against your toughness 5, so wounding on 4s, AP 2. So 2 wounds, so 2 3-up invuln saves. And they're good. Alright, so then I still have 7 guys left. Hitting on 3s.
How many wounds does he have left?
4. And wounding on 6s. 1 wound. And it takes a wound.
Of course.
Alright. So tied combat.
Yep.
And go figure, right?
Exactly.
Alright, so that's gonna be
End of your
the end of the turn.
turn. It's turn 2.
So we'll go on to turn 3 in just a moment. Alright guys, movement phase is done. Brad rolled for terrain and got double 1s for that guy.
Yep.
The Land Raider just pivoted, and that Marine hopped inside the 1 inch.
Yep.
So he's gonna go straight to the shooting phase, and starting with the Rhino and the guy inside. Gonna roll him right here.
Yep.
So 6s to hit. He's shooting everything at my Warlord, and then you got
2 from
the las
deal?
cannons.
No, that's the bolter on top. First. Sorry, that's what I
Oh,
said.
that bolter there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I'll do these 3.
Then
Then we'll do the las cannons last.
Okay.
Twin linked.
So nothing there.
Okay. 2 twin linked las cannons. Come on, 6s.
Nothing.
Double 5s. Jesus. Boom.
And
there's a 6.
Okay.
Something good.
Strength 9, toughness 6. It's gonna be a wound.
Okay.
So I'll take it. I'm not gonna jink.
Okay. 6 shots from the carries pattern.
1 hit. And that's gonna be nothing.
Okay. And 2 shots from his twin linked storm bolter.
And
Nothing.
nothing.
Alright.
Alright, so that's the end of the shooting phase.
1 whole wound.
And he's fine.
Never mind.
Guys, so the dice that I rolled was my grounding test. So the hive turret is still in the air, which is super awesome for me. Actually, I kind of wish that he had fallen down and managed to not take a wound.
Sure.
Because then I'd be able to charge or do something.
Yeah.
Now off camera, we did roll the Feel No Pain that I totally forgot about on the Harpy. And he did get his wound back, so he still has all of his wounds. So we might as well start with that combat.
Sure.
So you get your 7 attacks at initiative 5. That is 5 hits, because you got that 6 over there.
That I
And 2 wounds. So Feel No Pain. And so he takes 2, so he's down to 3.
Okay.
And then he gets his 3 attacks back, hitting on 3s. And so 2 hits. And wounding on 4s, AP 2. So 2 wounds, so 3 up.
Wow.
Alright.
Alright.
So kills 1 and
Leaves the captain.
leaves the captain with 1. And I still have 7 gargoyles left. So 7 attacks. Hitting on 3s. So 2 misses and wounding on 6s. So 1 wound. Oh, he's fine.
Yep.
He does lose combat. I do believe they're fearless though.
I believe so too.
So we'll double check on that. And then they are indeed fearless, so that combat stays. The warlord's down to 1 wound and everybody else just kind of sits there. So the other combat, everybody hitting my 1 gargoyle on a 3s. That's a lot of 1s and 2s.
Yeah, it is. But
And
1 wound to go.
Yeah, he's
through,
dead.
and then he's dead.
Alright, so go ahead and roll to see how far you consolidate. 6 inches.
That.
So we use that consolidation, try to get you a good view of that. And as we go into Tyranids turn 3, I do have to roll a dice for that unit that Brad just killed. See if they go into ongoing reserves on a 4+. And they do, so they will be coming onto the table this turn. And the Trigon Prime will also be coming onto the table.
Very nice.
So the Trigon is going to try a deep strike right there. And it is going to be a 4-inch scatter straight towards the other end. So that'll put him the front of it right there. And in doing so, he leaves a tunnel. Tyranids is over. So that unit of gargoyles moved up 6, getting within 12 inches of that Terminator squad there. The flying high tyrant that is not the warlord dropped down to the ground, staying an inch away from the land raider. Gonna do some super crazy shenanigan shooting stuff to possibly, hopefully get rid of both of those tanks. The warlord flying high tyrant moved up here on top of this wonderful cliff, still flying up in the air. And then this harpy dropped down to the ground and moved 6 inches away, or moved about 6 inches. And then the hive crone, who no longer has any tentacled missiles, this needs to disappear, continued to stay up in the air and moved over to this corner. And then these gargoyles or gene stealers, not gargoyles, spread out just a little bit, staying within the last 12 inches to maintain line breaker. So we will go straight to the psychic phase. I do still have 4 warp charges on the table plus 5. Uh-oh, it gives Brad quite a bit of denial dice. So getting 9 dice for myself and Brad gets 5.
Fair.
So I'm gonna start with Paroxysm. Same thing I've been doing. Into the same unit.
The single captain.
The single captain. Simply because I really want the warlord to disappear so I can kind of move my other guys around a little bit. So I'll do that. It is only warp charge 1. So I think I'll throw... I'm going to throw 4 dice at it. Thinking about throwing 5, but I think 4 should do it. And I don't get a single one. So that is a little unfortunate. I will throw 2 dice at Catalyst for that Hive Tyrant and the Harpy that's still in combat. I did pull them off the stand just to make that part of the table a little bit more accessible for our hands, because there are so many models right there. So it is warp charge 1. I'm going to throw 3 dice at it, and I'm going to get it with 2. I do perils.
That's the feel no pain.
That's the feel no pain.
And you have 2 dice left.
Yep.
I will throw 3 dice at it.
Okay, needing 3 6s or 2 6s.
2 6s.
And you get 1/6, so it does go off. And my perils is a 2. Guys, so the power does go off. He does get his feel no pain. And he does take a wound, so he's down to 3 wounds. Now he does lose a power as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that is going to be Catalyst. So he no longer gets Catalyst, which I don't think he'll...
Which is the power that you were casting?
Yeah, I don't think he'll be alive next turn to cast it anyways. So we'll see. And I do have 2 dice left. And I'm going to go ahead and cast Catalyst from the Warlord onto the Warlord and the Trigon. It is Warp Charge 1. And he gets it with a 1. And it goes off because Brad did not get a 6. So, yeah, nice. Nice try. So, both Warlords have, or both Hive Tyrants have Feel No Pain, as does the Harpy in combat and this big giant Trigon Prime. So, we'll go straight into the shooting phase. I'm going to start with that Hive Tyrant there. He is able to use his Electroshock Grubs to get both the Land Raider and the Rhino. The Rhino is going to be the primary target. So rolling to see if he glances the Land Raider on a 2. And that is going to be a glance. Oh, and he makes his invuln. Alright. So then the Rhino. And nothing happens there. So then he's going to take his 6 shots. Hitting on 3s, twin linked. They're feeling like rolling right now. So 6 hits. Just get 6 new dice because they all rolled away.
Yep.
And glancing on 5s. So that is me, a glance and a pen.
5 up through the, oh no, because you're using the flamer template, or no, you're
that's
doing
the
your
right,
shot, so
yeah,
I'm
that's the
going
regular one.
through the combat, so 5
Sure.
up cover.
And they're good. So the pen, so the snap shooting, and it's down to 2 hull points. And then we'll do
Is it down to 1?
Yeah, 1. Sorry, it takes 2.
Yeah.
And then we'll do that Harpy right there. With the Stranglethorn Cannon, so strength 6. It is going to put it right in the middle of the Rhino, so large blast. So rolling to scatter. And that's going to be a direct hit. So strength 6, needing a 4 to glance the rear armor. And it gets a 2. Now, of course it does.
Of course it does.
Of course it does.
That's awesome.
That Hive Crone can't do anything. And we'll take a quick look and see what we're going to do next for shooting. Alright guys, right here, the Hive Tyrant is going to be shooting into the side armor here. We did double check, and we're calling it side armor. It's right on that 50, it's right on that corner, the 45-degree mark. So Brad and I agreed that it is going to be side armor. So I'm hitting on 3s and then glancing on 6s. So hitting on 3s. 1, 2, 3, 4 misses. And that turns into 1 miss total. So 11 hits, and now I need 6s to glance. He's got 3 hull points? 4 hull points, I think you said?
3, I believe.
Well, there's
Double check.
There's 2, and then you get a 5 up invuln, so if you want to throw your 5 up invuln, we'll see what he ends up with afterwards. And he doesn't take any wounds, so it doesn't matter.
Guess it doesn't. He does have 3 hull points.
3 hull points?
Yeah.
So then
Nice.
The Trigon Prime is going to go ahead and shoot into the Cataphractii Terminator Captain and his unit.
Oh no!
Double check, I believe he's... Alright, the Trigon Prime does indeed have 12 shots. They are only strength 5, but he is going to shoot into that Cataphractii Terminator Captain and his unit. Hitting on 4s. So 1, 2, 3, 4 misses. And strength 5 against overall toughness of 5 means that I am wounding on 4s. 1 wound. That is a lot of 1, 2s, and 3s. And the captain does take a wound.
Look out, sir.
Alright, the next guy takes a wound.
There we go.
And then the gargoyles are going to go ahead and shoot. I'll measure those to see how many are within range, and we'll get back to you with the shots. Alright, so quick change of plans. That gargoyle unit is actually going to shoot at the Terminators first. Hitting on 4s. So 3 hits. And wounding on 5s. And nothing. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 4, 6, yeah. So 8 shots from the other unit, hitting on 4s. 3 hits and wounding on 5s. 1 wound. Alright, makes it with a 2. Alright, so that is going to be the shooting phase. This guy's going to go ahead and run.
Off the board.
Well, he gets 8 inches. He's just going to come right over here. Out of the way so I can roll my dice where I want to roll them. So, and then those gargoyles are going to charge the Terminators.
Sure.
Did you want to Overwatch?
Sure.
Alright. And their charge range is going to be 7 inches.
So
They do have
4 guys, 2
fleet.
shots and 1 guy with 1.
Okay. Hitting on 6s, so 1 hit. And no wound.
Wow.
Alright, so I'm going to measure the charge before I decide to re-roll that 7. So I'll be right. So 7 inches gets the 1 guy right there in base contact. And everybody else is not quite in base contact. Now Brad is initiative 5 with everybody but that Terminator Captain.
He's going to pile in. This guy's going to get 3 inches, which will get him to there. This guy gets 3 inches, which gets him to there. And this guy, straggling along behind, gets to there because he has to stay an inch away from there.
Yep.
And he is less than 2 inches from the back of that guy's base, so he will get to swing. So
Okay.
3 out of 4 will get to swing.
Perfect. Alright.
3, 6, 9. The captain doesn't get to swing. This captain doesn't get to swing.
Yep. And looks like all of them hit but 1. So is that 7?
Looks like it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay.
AP2.
AP2, so that's 7 guys. Now I do have 1 Hammer of Wrath before I forget.
Okay.
And it doesn't do anything.
Okay.
So
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you have 1 guy left.
1 guy left. Alright, so we'll pull those guys and do the pile in and we'll come right back. Step 4 My gargoyle piled in 3 inches and did not make it far enough into combat to actually do any attacks. So then at initiative step 1, that Terminator captain gets to move in his 1.5 inches that gets him into base combat and do his 3 attacks. And looks like all 3 hit. And looks like he is dead. So then how far do you consolidate? 5 inches.
Alright.
So we will come back with the consolidation and turn 4 for the Custodes. Now I am going to go ahead and roll a dice for the gargoyles that just died. And on a 6 they do come back. Alright, so there is that consolidation. The Terminator's just plain choo-choo train right there. And so totally forgot about that big giant combat there in the middle. So Brad's gonna do his 3 attacks.
4 attacks.
4 attacks, excuse me.
It's the captain.
Alright, so 3 hits. And
3 wounds.
3 wounds, so 3 feel no pains. And I make 1, so he's down to 1 wound.
1 wound.
And he gets 3 attacks back. 2 hits. And
1 wound.
1 wound. And he saves it. And then I still got 7. Hitting on 4s. Alright, and wounding on 6s. Nothing.
Okay.
Alright, so we sit there in combat. Because I'm fearless.
Fearless, that's right. Yep.
Yeah, because that Hive Tyrant's sitting right there. So,
now we'll get back after the movement.
yep. So we'll come back after the movement phase now. Alright, so that is Brad's movement. Everything's swiveling around to get clear line of sight on the Warlord right there. So I guess we'll go straight into the shooting phase.
Yep. We'll go ahead and start with these guys taking single shots and him taking the Melta shot.
Okay.
So there's the other ones.
So 3 hits.
Okay.
And they're going to be wounding on 6s.
Nothing.
Nothing. And
Last dude.
okay.
And come on, Melta. Nope.
Nothing with a 1.
Wow. Alrighty. So then we'll go over here. We'll take my 6 shots with the big Gatling cannon.
So
2. Nothing.
And nothing
Wow.
there.
2 twin linked.
1.
No, still 1.
Okay. And 5 up, feel no pain. Oh, I saw that 5. So he's down to 2.
Down to 2. Okay. 3 shots with the heavy bolter. Twin linked. Still 1.
Nothing.
4. Nothing. Alright. 2 shots with the regular bolter. Not twin linked, but 1 hits.
Name a 6.
Nothing. And 2 twin linked las guns.
Isn't that what you started with?
No. I started with the heavy bolter. So 1 and a 4 on the wheel.
Oh, so then he's not.
I did these, then that, then the las guns.
Okay. So he's still at 3 because he got a 3.
No, that
right.
was off of his stuff.
Hey guys, a little bit of confusion. So there is 1 wound there from the las cannon.
Yeah.
The save I rolled earlier was just an armor save because the weapon that caused the wound was actually the storm bolter.
Yes.
So the 3 that I rolled is good for the armor save.
Okay.
So 5 up, feel no pain for the las cannon this time,
Gotcha.
because that's what I was
Okay.
thinking it was.
Yeah, apparently.
So.
Because that's why I said everything as I did it, but he still gets the wound.
He still gets the wound. All right.
Okay. And then I got shots from these two. I don't. It's 2 shots from that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hitting on 6s, so 1
Perfect.
hit. Nothing.
Nothing. And then 1 shot from his gun coming out of the.
And nothing.
That's what I figured. All right.
And that's all you're shooting?
That everything in my army just shot.
Okay, so grounding test. And he's still in the air.
All right.
So he's down to 2 wounds and he's still flying. All right, so those Terminators are going to charge that Hive Tyrant, who will Overwatch, and they get a 10, so they're definitely in. Brad and I had this conversation off camera, so because he's charging more than 6 inches at this point, because he's got the 10-inch charge, he does drop the Relic where it is, because he will be moving more than 6 inches to get in.
Actually, I moved.
Brad went ahead and moved him in. He did drop the Relic, and I will go ahead and do the Overwatch shots, so 12 shots.
They go on the captain first, so I can look out, sir, if I need to.
Hitting on 6s, twin linked. Ooh.
Woohoo, look at that.
So, 4 hits so far. That was a 6, right? I think.
I think so. And you just dropped one that kicked one. There you go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. And so 4 hits total. And wounding on 3, strength 6 to your toughness 5.
Yep.
So, all right, so 2 wounds.
Look out, sirs. And
Okay.
then not ones.
All right, so they're good. All right, so then which combat do you want to do first?
Let's go ahead and just keep rolling on that since we're right there.
Okay. So let
I
me
don't know what
check
your
the initiative.
Yeah.
I'm initiative 5. Brad is also initiative 5 with all of his Custodes. So I'll just do my 4 attacks to start with. I'm hitting on 3s with weapon skill 8. So 3 hits. And strength 6, so 1 wound, AP 2.
Okay, so 1, 5 up.
And he makes it.
Alrighty. So then all of these are the Custodes. Bring them over here for you.
So hitting on 4s.
Good golly, Miss Molly.
And what's your strength?
That's what I'm double checking right now. It is strength 5.
Okay.
Plus 1 for the spear.
So
there's
strength 6 total, so you need 4s to wound. So 3 wounds.
3 wounds. Okay.
And then it's AP 2, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so 3, 5 up, feel no pains. And that is going to be a dead Hive Tyrant.
Ooh, I didn't even have to throw the chainsword.
All right, so then they consolidate. 5 inches.
5 more inches. Alright. And then we'll do that after the other combat just so that we can keep on rolling.
Okay.
So I got 4 attacks.
So,
What was it, hitting on 3s?
yep, hitting on 3s. So 3 hits. And wounding on 4s. So 1 wound. 5 up, feel no pain. And he's good.
There you
So
go.
then I get 3 attacks back. 2 hits. And 1 wound.
Oh.
And that is going to be Slay the Warlord for the Tyranids. So the gargoyles will consolidate 5 inches, and you get yours first.
That's right.
And then the harpy will consolidate 2 inches. Alright, so I will do my consolidation and we'll come back to you with the Tyranid turn. Alright guys, there is that consolidation. Brad is trying to hold on to that relic. He got to consolidate first. And so he's touching that in base contact, keeping me away from it. So we will go into Tyranids turn. I don't remember what turn it is. I think it's turn 3, turn 4, turn 4, turn 3.
I believe it's still turn 3, yeah.
We're going to go into the Tyranids turn and we'll see what happens. So the movement phase for Tyranids on turn 4 is over. This Hive Tyrant is still in the air. It's flying this way. Getting good line of sight, the rear armor of that guy. These two flying monstrous creatures, neither one of them are flying. So they're probably going to assault that Land Raider. That unit of gargoyles right there utilized the wonderful, wonderful hole that the Trigon made and flew up super duper close to that unit right there. Everything else is just kind of moved in to try to get rid of that last infantry unit for the Custodes. As we go on to the psychic phase now, I have 2 warp charges on the table plus 1, so getting a total of 3 dice. Brad gets 1 to deny. I guess I'm just going to go with Paroxysm. I was going to try to cast a minion, but I guess I don't really care about those 2 flying monstrous creatures anyways. Yeah, I'm going to cast Paroxysm on Brad's unit right there. Needing 1 4+ to cast it. And getting 1.
6.
And that's a 4. So with their adamantium will, they needed a 5.
Yeah.
So super close. So D3 being subtracted from their weapon skill and ballistic skill. So 1. So they're down to weapon skill and ballistic skill 4, which I'm totally fine with. That means most of the time my big guys are hitting on 3s, I believe. So we'll see what happens as we go into the shooting phase. I guess I'll start with that Harpy shooting a Stranglethorn cannon at the Land Raider, hoping for maybe a little bit of a scatter. I'm going to center it right here. So direct hit, we'll get both, right?
Yep.
Just click the rhino. So, and direct hit. All right.
Boom.
So I can't hurt the Land Raider, but that was the primary target. So looking for a 5 to glance the front armor of that rhino, and I get a 1. So nothing there. So then we'll go over here to the Hive Tyrant, who is still flying, and we're gonna shoot the rear armor. You said it was rear armor 10?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. So 12 shots. Hitting on 3s, twin linked. And twin linked. So they all hit. And needing 4s to glance. So 4 pens and 1 glance.
Okay.
You want to do the glance first?
Sure.
With a 5-up invul, and that goes through. And needing to save 3 of these. And they all go through. Can't blow it up, so it's just a wreck.
Yep.
So gives the Hive Tyrant a little bit more survivability. That's, to be honest, that's a lot of shots coming at it every turn. What was that? 8 shots?
Yeah.
So, twin linked.
Well,
Or half of them, yeah.
Yeah.
So, now we'll go into the rest of the shooting over there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 4, 6, 7. Still have all 7 gargoyles from that squad, surprisingly. And so we'll do that one first, shooting at the Custodes. Hitting on 4s, so 2 hits, and wounding on 6s. Or 5s, but yeah, strength 4. And then I'm going to do all of the rest of those gargoyles shooting combined. So I'll come back to you with the dice. Alright, so those 2 squads of gargoyles together is 20 shots at those Custodes. All hitting on 4s, ballistic skill 3. And then I'll be wounding on 5s. So hitting on 4s. And it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. And a lot of 1s, 2s, and 3s. And then I will be wounding on 5s. 1 whole wound out of 2 squads. That is absolutely 100% fantastic. And he saves it. So then we got the Trigon, 12 shots. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. And he's going to be hitting on 4s, wounding on 4s. Alright, and wounding on 4s with strength 5. So 5 wounds. So 5 2-up saves. And finally get a wound. And it looks like the guy in the middle is definitely going to be the closest, so...
From this guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, 2 guys down to 1 wound, and everybody else still has full wounds. So that's going to be my shooting phase. Yeah, I guess I'll go straight to the charge phase. So the Harpy right there will charge the Land Raider. I don't think it can really fail, but 6 inches. And then the Hive Crone will do the same thing. With a 9, I think that gets it in. And then, yeah, we'll pull these guys off of the bases just so they don't get busted. And then over here we'll do the 12-man squad, or 10-man squad, excuse me, of gargoyles. That squad right there is going to charge the Custodes.
The farthest one away?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they'll get a 10-inch charge. I don't think they'll have any problems getting in. Brad's going to do his Overwatch, hitting on 6s, 2 hits. And 2 wounds. It's going to kill 2 of them. So the 2 closest guys. We'll measure that real quick and get right back to you. Alright guys, so they were only 8 inches away. The farthest guy was 10 inches away. So they all got in. So I'm going to do the Harpy next. Needing... Well, there's a 7.
Cool.
And so he's in. And then I'll do the Trigon. It's kind of a last-ditch effort, I guess, for the Tyranids. I mean, go big or go home.
Yes.
So the Trigon with an 8-inch is going to be in. And then the last unit of gargoyles.
I wanted this one.
This one can't charge because they came in from reserve. So we'll do that one right there. I'm tempted to leave them out of combat. That way if I kill the one guy holding the relic, I can pick the relic up and move.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think at this point I want the Hammer of Wraths though. At initiative 10.
Do it.
So, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and charge them in as well. There's really nothing that no bad can come of it other than them dying and maybe not coming back. But there's 7 of them and they are in with a 3. So,
Done.
that is gonna be a lot of Hammer of Wraths all the way around the board. So we'll come back to you once we figure out what all those are. So for Hammer of Wraths, we have 10 gargoyles that got into base contact. None of them used their jump pack, so 10 Hammer of Wraths from between the 2 squads. Wounding on 6s because strength 3 to toughness 5. So it looks like we have 1 wound there. And
very nice.
We'll pull that guy off. And then we have the 2 Hammer Wraths from the monstrous creatures. 1 from the Harpy at strength 5. This is going to be a wound. You do get your 2-up save because they are AP dash. And he makes that with a 5. And the Trigon. That's going to be a wound. And that's going to be a save. Now Brad and I did discuss this. Because the Harpy charged in this turn, his Custodes are initiative 1. So I will figure out how many attacks are there and we'll come back to you. All of the Terminators are initiative 1. We have, at initiative 5, we have the Trigon Prime with 5 attacks base plus 1 for the charge. And he is weapon skill 5, so he'll be hitting on 3s. And then we have the Harpy with 3 attacks base plus 1 for the charge. Weapon skill 3, so he'll be hitting on 4s. That's at initiative 5. At initiative 4, we have 1 unit of gargoyles with 10 gargoyles. 20 attacks, hitting on 4s. And then if we get that far, we'll get to the other unit of gargoyles afterwards. So we'll start with the Trigon. Hitting on 3s. So all but 1. And I'll double check the strength. 1s are not going to wound. Alright, so the Trigon Prime is strength 6. So 3 wounds, all AP 2. These 5-up involves.
Yes, sir.
So 1 goes through.
Yep. That's at that end there. So.
It's this guy right here.
Oh. So that finishes off that guy.
And then the big guy at the end gets 4 attacks, hitting on 4s. Ugh. And strength 5, so he'll wound on a 4. So that is a wound, AP 2. Alright, so the guy down at the end takes a wound. That's the captain, right?
Yep.
Okay. And then we have the unit of 10 gargoyles hitting on 4s. So many dice. Alright, so hitting on 4s. That's a lot of hits.
So I totally messed up this whole combat.
Uh-oh.
Because I had the chance to block a bunch of those and I didn't. That's fine. Just keep on cruising.
Do you want to block some of these?
It's not going to matter at this point. It's going to be too many.
Okay.
So just, yeah, I should have blocked your AP2 stuff, but I didn't, so.
Okay. Wounding on 6s, strength 3 to your toughness 5. And nothing there.
Nothing.
So I will count up the dice for the second squad and we'll get back to that. The unit of 7 on that side that still has their attacks. They're hitting on 4s. And looks like 1, 2, right. So just the middle ones. That worked out nice and easy. And then I need 6s. So 2 wounds. And they're good. So coming back the other way, you got
3 and 4.
Yep, and this is from the
captain and the
Custodes guys.
Yeah, Custodes.
Okay.
They're both gonna throw at the
harpy.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're hitting on 3s.
AP2.
And that is going to kill him. He only had 1 wound left.
Yeah, he only had 1 left.
So we'll go ahead and pull him. And then you have the captain left.
Yep. His pylon's gonna go there.
Okay.
And he's gonna go after that thing.
So he is hitting, yeah, the 5 is the only one that would have hit anyways. And the 3 is gonna wound him because he's got a chain fist.
Chain fist, yep.
So he is down to 5 wounds, I believe. If not, he's down to 4. But we'll double check that. I definitely win combat.
Yeah.
And I'm in synapse. So we just pile in, and then we'll come over to this combat right there. Alright guys, so in this combat right there with the Harpy and the Hive Crone, I'm actually choosing to exchange all of their attacks for smash attacks. Their base strengths couldn't actually hurt the Land Raider Armor 14. So they both get 1 attack each. I'm going to double check their base strength because it is ×2. I believe that would make them both strength 10. But we'll double check. And hitting on 3s because it's not immobilized yet. So 2 hits, strength 10. I need 4s minimum to glance. And I get 3s. Now I do believe it is Armor Bane. So we'll check the strength and we'll get back to you with that. Alright folks, so after double checking, they are both base strength 5, or I guess both of those guys right here that are imaginary right now are base strength 5, so smash does double it to 10. It does allow them to re-roll the armor penetration rolls. So a 13 is not going to pen the Land Raider, so I'm going to choose to re-roll both of those.
Yep.
I can't do any worse than not doing any damage.
Exactly.
So, so 10 plus. There's 1 glance, which is all I need to get rid of that Land Raider.
Except for this 5.
Except for it comes down to this right here.
That is not a 5.
Alright, so Land Raider is glance to death. So
Actually, let's cheat.
yeah, just pull those off.
Boom.
Alright, so dead Land Raider.
And you know what that means.
So
that means I am going to go ahead and say, good game, sir. I'm going to give it to you.
I'll give you a left-handed handshake.
That's alright. I prefer that because I'm actually left-handed. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that I could stay dug in there for the next 1, 2, 3, 4, who knows how many turns, but I can never get out of it. And you'll be able to keep bringing guys back
Yep.
and getting back to me before I can get out of
And
it.
I still have these Gene Stealers.
Exactly.
So we'll do a post game and we'll see you guys then. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed that game. Definitely an interesting one.
Yeah, that I'll give you. It was definitely interesting. That was it was very much fun. It was interesting, and I enjoyed the idea of it. I definitely felt swarmed.
And that was the idea of it.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
And my guys, they hold their own. They do what they got to do. But there's just so much stuff there, and with everything being concentrated because of the
one
objective. Once I got there, I couldn't get back out.
Yep.
And so the epitome of being tar pitted.
Yeah.
You know, so.
I mean, to be honest, if I hadn't run the Skyblight Swarm,
yeah,
I would have been off the board a long time ago.
Absolutely.
I
Because
brought
if
back
those things didn't come back,
3 squads.
Yep.
Effectively, 3 brand new squads of gargoyles that didn't start on the board.
Yep.
So that is what allowed me to get you stuck.
Oh, absolutely. And we had that conversation off of camera.
Absolutely.
That the reason why I scooped and gave you the game, even though I could have stayed in there for probably till the end of the game and counted as still holding the relic and maybe won on points, was the fact that you literally, if I killed a whole squad, it's just going to come back on, and before I can kill the other squad, get tied back up. And so like if we played it out until to the last man, eventually you would have overswarmed because I could not have killed enough.
I had enough AP2 stuff on the board that, especially since I still had another Harpy.
Yeah.
If you had managed to kill a squad of gargoyles, I would have charged the Harpy in there, effectively knocking you back to initiative 1.
Yep.
Allowing my Harpy, which is AP2, and my Trigon Prime, which is AP2 as well, to go ahead of you.
Yep.
Eventually, at that point, I probably would have dropped the High Tyrant to the ground and charged him into.
Oh, yeah.
He's hitting on 3s every single round, regardless of whether I was able to get Paroxysm off. He's weapon skill 8, so.
Yeah. I really believe that the shields make a huge difference against anything that's like AP whatever.
Yep.
The fact that it's a 3-up invuln versus a 5-up.
Yeah.
That makes a big difference. And then, so, like, because I've got the 3rd squad, and possibly even a 4th squad to make, I have a feeling that what I'll end up doing is one more full squad of the shields and swords, and then the last squad of spears, but use the spears as the back half if I run them as two. Because
you've mentioned you can mix and match.
Yeah, you don't have to run them all the same.
The one thing that I would do if it was me is definitely put a good mix in each squad. Even if you just run the 5-man squads.
Yeah.
Do 3 shields,
and
two spears.
2 spears.
The 2 spears allow you to
hit some AP2.
Hit some AP2, especially if you're going against Terminators.
Right.
But also they allow you to block, which I know that you mentioned that you forgot to do.
Yeah, that was interesting because, like I said, I think I forgot the entire game that they could do that, because I just, for whatever reason, I was doing fine with them. And then I realized
it only mattered that last
in
turn.
that last combat that I'm like, these 2 big giant guys with AP2, and I should have at least tried to block a few of those, because I could have saved one more guy or something,
or an extra wound,
or an extra
something.
wound. Yeah, and it would have dragged the combat out even longer, but I would have felt more comfortable at least playing it to turn 5 and calling it, haha, I beat you on points. But I was like, you had Linebreaker, you could keep Linebreaker, you had Slay the Warlord, and literally the only guy that mattered was the guy holding the relic.
Yep.
If you killed the guy holding the relic, then automatically I lose because I no longer have it.
Yep.
So that was kind of granted, you may have had to go down to the last man because we were in close combat.
Oh, I definitely would have, but yeah, I mean, turn 5, 2 more rounds of combat.
Yep.
And this is what we talked about off camera: is 2 more rounds of combat, I've got at least 5 wounds, or I had 5 wounds left. I checked.
Yep.
The Trigon Prime comes with 6 wounds. So
And 20 dudes swinging attacks.
yep, and then one more 10-man squad charging in on my turn. So the second round of combat would have had another 20, 30.
And then probably your 2 big, your Hive Crone and
my
whatnot.
Hive Crone and the Harpy would have been there by that
Yep,
point.
exactly. So it was like, it was just so much for 3 little guys to,
Yep.
even with the 2-up, 5-ups, and
Yeah, and the blocking. I still don't think, by the time it got to my turn, I don't
Yeah.
think that there would have
it
been
would-
enough
there
wounds
would have
left.
been enough left.
So we went ahead and called it. Definitely a cinematic game
yes.
at the end there.
Oh,
with,
it was crazy.
with the Custodes
feeling
making
the
their final
swarm,
stand. So
feeling the swarm coming, and just like, what do I do? How do I get out of here? I'm drowning. Like, oh, it was
Yeah.
pretty cool.
It was a lot of fun.
I did enjoy it a lot.
I'm really enjoying dusting off my Tyranids. It's not something I've played a lot lately. Simply because every time I played them, I lost.
Yeah. Before. Even though you have a solid grasp of them and how they play, and you have a solid version that is pretty competitive, it's
not top tier.
yeah,
and
exactly.
And the people I play against are usually running the Gladius Strike Force or something like that. So
absolutely.
there's just nothing. Even this list, I didn't bring a single thing other than a smash attack and haywire that could hurt a vehicle.
Get through my Land Raider,
and I brought a lot of bodies. So
you did, and like I said, I mean, I'm enjoying this little Custodes test, and even though I'm throwing in my little allied Tiger Claws just because I want them on the channel, because
they look great.
My buddy who painted them did a hell of a job, and I agree, they look amazing. So. It's worth having them there, although I kind of would like to have played them against your Dark Angels, just because then the orange would be the only orange on the table, because your pretty Nids are, they pop. They're
so much
the purple and the orange is beautiful. So with that being said, though,
I'd say your test is successful.
Yeah, the Custodes are a shoe-in in pretty much any army I ever run if
they stay
makes
the same.
sense,
yeah.
and if things stay the same in 8th edition. But like I said, I really think I should probably do my 3rd and maybe even a 4th Custodes and kick the Tiger Claws out, except on bigger games. And if I was to put something else in, I would probably put my Knight in with them.
Yeah,
that would be a crazy.
That would definitely be something I don't think I'd want to bring my Tyranids against. I just don't think I could. I don't think I could survive. But
that's a lot of shots.
Thumbs up if you want to see it, guys.
Yeah.
Click that thumbs up and we'll make it happen.
Yes.
Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'd love to sit here and talk all day, but
yeah, we got stuff to do.
We got some errands to run, and we've been playing for about 8.5 hours already. So
today was supposed to be a lazy day, and we kind of were half-ass lazy while playing because we kept BSing and doing other things. So we apologize if it looks like we're not paying attention to what we're doing. We were trying to, but there was a lot of distractions, a lot of things going on today.
Yeah.
But hopefully we'll get back on track.
Right here.
Yeah.
Click right here. There's a thing right there. There's another thing right here.
Sure.
You guys should click it. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. Have a great day.
Absolutely. Have a good night.